Everyone is talking about Tony Petitti's comments on playoff expansion. I think they missed the bigger story. He didn't sound like a conference commissioner. He sounded like the CEO of a billion-dollar enterprise. And if you listened carefully at Big Ten Media Days, he revealed just how much the job has changed. But one comment stopped me in my tracks. Tony Petitti said he had talked to SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey more than 5 times that morning before even stepping to the podium. Think about that. They weren't talking about preseason rankings. They weren't talking about officiating. They weren't even talking about football. They were talking about federal legislation that could reshape college athletics. And that's the job now. The second thing that jumped out at me wasn't one quote, it was his vocabulary. He talked about sustainability, predictability, economic value, resources, stakeholders, growth. That's not how commissioners talked 10 years ago, but it's how CEOs talk to investors and boards of directors now. College football commissioners have become chief executives, responsible for navigating media rights, legislation, NIL, revenue sharing, and the long-term financial health of their conferences. Then came the most revealing business decision of all. Petitti acknowledged that the Big Ten championship game has significant economic value. Yet he also said the conference would be willing to give it up if moving to a 2014 college football playoff if it creates greater long-term value for the conference and the sport. That's remarkable. Most people hear that and think it's another playoff debate. I hear a CEO evaluating his portfolio. He's asking a classic business question. Would we sacrifice one profitable asset if it creates even more value somewhere else? That's not football strategy. That's corporate boardroom strategy. And there was another important takeaway. Throughout his remarks, Petitti repeatedly emphasized working with Greg Sankey and the SEC. He talked about collaborating on federal legislation, discussing playoff formats, and trying to build a more sustainable model for college sports. Fans love the Big Ten SEC rivalry. The commissioners understand something different. Behind the scenes, they're partners trying to solve problems that affect the entire industry. And that's a dynamic most fans never see. So here's my takeaway from Big Ten Media Days. The biggest story wasn't playoff expansion. It wasn't scheduling. It wasn't who might win the conference. It was watching a conference commissioner operate like the CEO of one of the largest sports enterprises in America. And that's exactly why I believe the business side of college football has become just as fascinating as what happens on Saturdays. If you enjoy looking at the business side of college football, hit that subscribe button because that's what we do here. I'm Mike Chaudron. See you next time.